and this creates a mobile that can pull and then the wings would flap. Yeah, so in the exhibition booth itself.
So this is not just a static display. It invites people to interact with it.
And it's kind of like conversational piece as well. You go in like, hey, what's this? Then I was like, oh, it's compact glass. How can cut into this shape? I didn't know. Because my kitchen always L.
And Singaporeans will be very surprised.
Correct. So I think
can
that's
cut
how
into this shape, man.
Exactly.
Thank you for being here in yet another episode of the 618 show, the Experts Edition. I'm Sabah from Renotalk, and today we have
Celine from Fraction Design Studio. Nice to meet you.
Thank you for joining us in the studio. We are very pleased to have you here. Now, let's jump right into it. So tell us, what does fraction means to your clients?
Interesting. So fraction, as the name suggests, it is a mathematical formula, right? So it could be like 1 out of 2, 1 out of 3. So when you think of fraction, you think of it as something that's not complete. So how can it be complete? What do you think?
Okay, so I would be guessing that you're trying to hint to someone who's looking at your brand, evaluating your brand, that you are a collaborative partner of sorts.
Bingo.
Okay, very good.
You're so
not
smart.
Bad. I know, right? Someone telling me I'm smart. Wow, he's so.
Yeah, so
okay.
fraction, right, is just a part of the bigger picture. So we treat our clients as collaborative partners. We do a lot of we call it ping pong, creative ping pong with them.
Creative ping pong.
Yeah, so there's to and fro. We hit once, they hit once, and then from there we generate ideas for their business, or it could be, say, residential clients. Then we generate inspiration for their homes.
So right off the bat, you make it clear to your prospects and your potential partners that you are a collaborative brand right off the bat, and you make it clear to them that you are part of a bigger picture. Definitely not a one-stop one-stop station, right? So that kind of set expectations, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Great. So tell us, in terms of services and products, how do you help your clients, and who are they actually?
Okay, so my clients are very interesting. They are business owners.
Okay.
So I've worked with brands like Compact Plus. I'm sure all of you will know.
Yeah, we are pretty familiar with the Compact Plus.
Okay, as well as Extra, the furniture retailer currently at Marina Square, as well as Panelog, their surfaces retailer.
Surface retailer.
So they have things like coloured MDF, things that you usually wouldn't see. Like
MDF is, correct me if I'm wrong, is like a compacted sawdust wood, something like that,
that's
right?
So it stands for medium density fiberboard.
Okay,
yeah.
So that's the technical term, boys and girls.
Can you Google it? Yeah, they also have, say, coloured plywood. So plywood, if you look at it, is sandwiched with, like, say, light dark kind of wood, right?
Yeah.
But for theirs, right, sometimes they have coloured papers in between embedded, so it makes it very colourful.
Okay, very interesting. So your clientele are quite a mixed range of businesses, and they themselves are somehow involved in design, or specifically interior design as well, right? Okay, so in your work, in your service and your products, how do they help them, or how do they find you helpful?
Okay, so I think they have a common challenge. So wherever you have a business, right, definitely you have competitors.
Okay.
So they want to differentiate themselves from their competitors to tell prospective clients that, hey, look at me, I am willing to listen to what you want to design. I want to understand your needs, and I want to do things that are different with you. So I'm not like, traditional, I want to just do what I'm comfortable with. Yeah, so this is the kind of image that they want to portray to their customers. That's why they will engage me to dress up their brand, put their products differently.
Up their brand.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a very nice way of describing what you do. Dress up your brand. Okay. And when you talk about dressing up your brand, right? What's the secret sauce? I mean, if you can share. What was helpful in the process of working with them? Have they shared with you? What is it? What's the how-to? What's the unique secret sauce when it comes to working with you?
Honestly, right, all projects start with a lot of confusion. because there's a lot of learning for me in terms of like what machines do you have in-house, what can you do, what can you not do, what's your maximum material size. So after all this learning and all these pointers, we will regroup them into things that we find are unique to their business and what they can really offer as maybe customization to their clients. And then we will generate designs, typically for exhibitions. So one of it, if I were to show you here, okay, this is an exhibition.
Let's pause for a while, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You guys probably saw both of us holding this, right? Okay. I must say that in this day and age, right, where people are familiar with websites, social media, Facebook pages, and all that, and yet you surprised us with these packs when you first came in. Maybe you talk a little bit more about that as well. So what inspired you to have this?
Okay, so I always find like there's too much information on the internet, even on my website as well. So like for a project like this, right, you'll find at least 5 to 6 images, which are pretty repetitive in nature.
Okay.
But I think if you want to go for a pitch, instead of scrolling through a website, sometimes there's like technical issues like you can't connect to the Wi-Fi. I think it's still best to have a physical copy like this, where you have all the projects in postcards format, so something that they can refer to when you leave, something you can touch and feel the tactility of the material. I think that's very important, especially to clients of this trade. So it's all about tactility, the surfaces that we touch. So like even say when you choose laminates, you take the actual sample as well, right? You don't just see the digital copy.
Yeah, because when you go to or rather when we go to different showrooms, right? The first thing that we want to do is to touch and feel, right? Touch and feel different materials, right? Because you want to hold it in your hand.
Correct.
And for those of you who are marketing students out there, right? You can take a leaf out, a lesson from this, right? Sometimes when people zig, you have to zag, because a lot of people are going to websites, social media, and then we have a brand that stands out just by having something as as natural as this. Right? Okay, so you were going to surprise us with that first photograph that came from the stack, okay? So you take one from the stack, right? And later it's my turn, right?
Wow, okay.
Okay, yes. So you play a card game, lah. Okay. You start first.
Okay, so this is my first project for Fraction actually. Yeah, it is done for Singapore. It's a design anchor event for Singapore Design Week. This was done way back in 2016.
2016?
Yeah, 3 years back when I first started the business.
Okay.
So for this, I collaborated with Extra as well as Bolon. Bolon supplies this very beautiful woven vinyl flooring tiles, and they have a gradient of like say greyish to blue for this range. And what I did was to hang them up onto the ceiling. So that's why I told my client. Sometimes I always wonder like, why do my clients trust in me so much? A flooring material specialist, right? Who would be okay to hang things up.
Correct. That's the exact question I have. That's why I went silent for a while. So, recap, right? Those are materials that is usually meant to be on the floor.
Yes, correct.
You usually step on, right?
Yes, that's right.
And you have you put it in the ceiling. Rather unorthodox, right? And what was the impact when you did that?
Okay, so this is more of like an art installation. We also used Chris Light to help us, like program the lights so that it looks like you're under the sea. So you're caught in a gigantic wave, which is also the inspiration of how this range came about. That's why it's like a blend of grey and blue. So it's very poetic by nature.
Yeah, and even the photographs, like kind of portrays that you are in some sort of magical space. I mean, without the program, you just show someone, here's a picture. Where is it? I wouldn't have been able to guess where it is. Right?
Yes. So I think, just like I said earlier, tactility is very important, right? If you do not run your fingers through the vinyl flooring tile, how do you know like there's different layers to it? How do you feel the texture of it, So that's why it's hung at different heights, so even kids would like go around and touch the material. Okay. So instead of putting it on the floor where people deem it to be like a bit dirty, people step on it, then I wouldn't want to go and touch it. I would just view it from afar, and there's no interaction with it. Okay. I would hang it up and.
Okay, so this was in 2016, right?
Yes, that's right.
Good. So this was one of the earlier projects that you did, right?
Yeah, this is one of the earlier projects.
Interesting milestone for you. My turn, right, to take out a card from that.
No worries.
Okay. I see the word Gorilla Press. Tell us more about this one.
Yes. Okay. So this is a collaboration with Panelog. They are the surfaces material that I mentioned earlier. And then
You can hold
Gorilla
it,
Press, Gorilla Press actually sells organic juices. So I designed a cart for them where they can place their organic juices in the cart and then push them around to events like.
Okay. So this where was it used? In which location was it deployed?
This was for Singapore as well.
Singapore as well.
Yeah,
I
this
see.
was 2018.
2018.
If I'm not wrong. Yeah,
Okay.
2018 or 2017.
And I noticed there were. I assume these are seats, right? Okay.
Yeah.
And this is like a coffee table.
Yes, correct.
Okay. So what are the materials that makes up the top?
Okay,
So it's colourful. That's the thing that stands out.
Yeah, these are actually coloured MDF boards.
MDF boards.
So
okay.
those that you see, if you were to saw your furniture, some are MDF boards.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, correct,
These are typically like a dark or medium brownish material with
Yeah.
UV specs on it because made of sawdust binding
Yeah.
material.
Yeah.
But these are the water resistant coloured MDF. They inject the colour into these boards, and even if you were to cut it, the colour remains consistent. So what I did was to cut it into different shapes with the CNC machine, and then from there we score grooves that would help the material to bend. That's why these seats, as well as the coffee table, the sides of it are bent.
I see.
So usually panels you see is flat, right?
Yeah.
But this one
Because the sawdust wood, I mean layman we call it sawdust wood. The one that we're familiar with are always flat, right? Whereas I've noticed the curves in the one that you made.
That's right. So I think it's to let customers visualize like, hey, actually besides a very straight counter, I can do one that is curved on the sides as well. So this can get them inspired, on how like they want to design their homes.
And what the possibilities
Yeah,
are, right?
correct.
Okay. Because you got me thinking as well. What are the materials that we have at home that was designed to perform in a certain way, but could easily have alternative uses, right?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, it's your turn to pick up a card.
Yeah, interesting.
Your
You
turn.
just mentioned about possibilities, right?
Yeah.
So, as I was mentioning earlier, I also work with Compact Plus, and if you know the company inside out.
Yeah, Compact Plus, very interesting. They make good kitchen countertop, I would say.
It's really
yeah,
good, yeah.
yeah.
So I'm not sure if you've been to their events. They would have like a drop ball test.
Yeah, they always
they give out like
if you guys have not
posters,
if you guys have not had a chance to watch Compact Plus demo, most interesting one.
Yeah.
The people who sit in the front will always get the bigger shock. So they will drop a huge metal ball, sometimes without warning, right, onto their panel,
Correct.
right?
And no dent, nothing, and it's so thin, like 6 mm.
Yeah, and it's not even marble. It's not concrete. It is made of organic materials, right? Like we're talking about paper. Yeah.
Yes.
You never imagine paper could be that strong.
Correct.
But anyway, I digress. So okay, let's talk about what do you do for Compact Plus? What do you do for them?
So for their company, they always have these taglines: endless possibilities.
Yeah.
Yes, and you see the array of colors and textures that they bring in really brings out their vision for Compact Plus, endless possibilities.
Yeah.
But they had a challenge for me. So
They had a challenge for you. Okay.
When I first met them, so I was
You sound like someone who relished a challenge.
I love
Show me one.
challenges. Yeah. I know.
Okay, go
it's
ahead.
always interesting. So they were like, okay, we need to design this booth in Architects. Architects is in KL, where a lot of architects, interior designers go there to purchase materials.
And which time of the year usually happens, architect? Do you recall?
Honestly,
Cannot
my
remember.
memory, all the challenges, sorry.
All the challenges, like, later, we want. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So for architects, right, they had a 3 meter by 3 meter booth.
3 meter by 3 meter booth.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can imagine it's pretty small, right?
Yeah.
For an exhibition booth, lah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're like, how do we still tell people that is endless possibilities? Like, interesting.
Okay, so I see where the creative tension comes up. You are only allowed to work within a space of 3 meter by 3 meter.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you have to convey the message, endless possibilities.
That's right.
So you gotta fuse this thing together, right?
Exactly.
Okay, wow. And how do you manage to overcome that challenge?
So I told them, I think the places that I would find endless possibilities would be in nature, because there's endless ways a path can wind. There's endless ways a tree can grow.
Yeah.
There's endless ways, the cloud formations and everything. Sometimes it looks like fish, sometimes it looks like a whale.
Yeah.
So I think if we were to take inspiration from nature and to cut all your panels into organic shapes and rearrange them, and also to create little pockets of joy for customers.
Little pockets of joy.
Yeah, I think that would really help your booth stand out. amongst all the different suppliers there. So what we did was to use all their off cuts, like every time you have a sink, right, or you have double bowl sink sometimes, you have to cut out a hole, right, from your countertop material. So those materials, sometimes they go into marketing materials like, coasters, the drop board tears.
Because otherwise you have been wasted, right?
Yeah,
Those
that's
materials.
right, correct.
So might as well do something with it.
Yes.
But that also in itself presents another problem, right? Because usually what are those things turn into? What are the most common application of those wasted materials?
I think typically they will try and make like small like products out of it.
Like coasters?
Yeah, coasters.
But that would be a lot of coasters, right?
Yeah. So I'm sure they have a lot of coasters already. So I thought
I have a lot.
maybe I can.
I'm giving away some now.
Oh really? I'm keeping all of mine.
Okay.
It's so good, yeah.
Later I'll pass you some.
Okay. So what happened was they still have several offcuts from every batch. So we use these offcuts to make products like this. So this is a bird mobile that can be suspended from the ceiling. We laser etch lines onto it, and this creates a mobile that can pull, and then the wings will flap. Yeah. So in the exhibition booth itself.
So this is not just a static display. It invites people to interact with it.
And it's kind of like conversational piece as well. You go in like, hey, what's this? Then I was like, oh, it's compact glass. How can cut into this shape? I didn't know. Because my kitchen always L.
And Singaporeans will be very surprised.
Correct. So I think
can
that's
cut
how
into
they
this shape, man?
Exactly. Yeah. So with this, they'll be convinced, right?
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, so actually my kitchen can be something different. I can etch my name or not? I don't know. Maybe some people like etch my name, etch patterns.
And because you were using a laser cut, right, for this laser etching, laser etching, right? So definitely and just by making subtle changes, right, you already invites people to think a little bit more, stretch the envelope a bit. Right?
Correct. So these panels can be dragged out, so a portion of it can be dragged out and placed onto the demo kitchen, so you can visualize how their kitchen would look like in these larger size panels. Yeah, so we still have a mock kitchen. We still have all the colors available, and we have like small pockets of joy in the space. So that's how we did.
You said that phrase twice. Small pockets, little pockets of joy. So if the endless possibilities slogan doesn't work, there's always an alternative. Little pockets of joy, right? Okay. Yes. I could have sworn you're a branding expert.
Thank you.
All right, branding lecturer. Okay.
Branding lecturer.
Yeah.
Okay, I lecture.
You lecture as well? Where?
In NAFA.
NAFA. Okay, there you go. Okay, so I'm quite good, right?
But not under branding. 3D design.
Okay. For a start. Okay. My turn, right? To pick that. Okay. Okay, this one I've seen it before, but I think the audience the followers may not have. Boom. Okay. Wow. Tell us about this little. What is this, please?
This is very recent. This is for 2019 Singapore. It's mostly Singapore, I realize.
I forgot where I saw
So this was at National Design Centre, and I worked with Decor Fans Singapore. So they sell an array of different fans. Like now they even have a new unibody one where you don't need so many screw threads. So it's very beautiful for their fan designs. So again, he has the same challenge for me. My booth is 3 meters by 3 meters. How many fans can I put in this space? So I boss, 200. He's like, huh? 200?
200
How?
fans, wow.
Then I managed to do it with pinwheels. So one main fan, and then it activates the mini fans.
Oh, okay, got it. So the bigger fans activate the smaller units.
Yeah, just one big fan.
Okay. And I noticed someone wearing a VR
goggle, right?
And what do they see when they put that on?
So I think this is like, okay, I have this motion sickness. So every time I put on goggles, the VR goggles, I feel like, wow, so giddy. Everything is moving a bit slowly, and then sometimes the heights are not right if you don't scale it up or tune to my height. So I always tell him, what if one day we put on VR goggles and it's so natural? You almost feel like you're teleported into a space. So this is what we visualize for this exhibition. When you put on the VR goggles, you are teleported into this space that is an autumnscape. So maybe somewhere you feel the rustling sounds from the pinwheels actually. The rustling sounds, the smell. So it's an experiential, it helps in the experience.
I got it.
So instead of being teleported into a very fixed space that's this is the natural space that we did.
And based on the samples that based on the project showcase that you've shown us, you are really focused on making sure that no static space remains static, right?
Yeah, that's right.
And So I suppose, and in this particular project, you are stretching the envelope because you are kind of testing the assumption that VR will make you giddy after a while, right? So you will really stretching that envelope. Right? Great. Okay, so we have seen 4 showcases. All right. Now, I have still have some more questions for you. Okay. So of all these interesting projects that you work with, which one were you most proudest of? At the personal level, of course.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. I think I really love these projects, but my proudest moment was earlier this year, where I went to exhibit at Milan Design Week.
Milan Design Week.
Yeah.
Okay, tell us more.
So as a student, when I was a design student years back, I always thought, okay, if ever one day I can exhibit my designs at Milan Design Week, a place where all designers from all over the world would come annually, like almost to worship. Yeah. Then I think that is where I can really bring out, some of the Southeast Asian crafts, to really shine a spotlight on all our craftsmen here in Southeast Asia. So I brought these pieces with me to the Milan Design Week, and I hung it up and placed a lot of plants as well.
Yeah.
So I think you can really see the beauty of the weaves. The rattan material that can be stained into different colors that's following the color trends, and something that is typically very traditional in more contemporary light, so something more minimal, sleeker lines, more geometric forms. So I think when presenting this, actually it got very good interest. So I even have like a interior designer from all the way from Edinburgh request to have some of this mailed to him. So we are forming connections with European potential European clients as well. So I flew down, met him, and had a look at his work. So I think I love this kind of connection, where it's not just in a virtual world, but something that's physical.
And you inspire people to think a little bit more about the materials that they're already familiar with.
Yes.
Right? Instead of creating something new, in fact, you can make new applications on something that you're already familiar with. So, like for example, when I look at that,
these are trays.
The first material that came out, the material would I imagine probably invoke questions, right? Because rattan is something that usually comes from this part of the world.
Exactly.
Right? So I guess a lot of people will be asking, what material is that? Right?
And I don't know, maybe interior designers, without looking at like a product like this, they find it very hard to visualize rattan being applied somewhere else. Like they'll think, okay, am I doing for
material
Balinese?
without the application? Right? It's a bit difficult.
Correct. So they'll always imagine like rattan equals maybe Balinese style. Like a bit too decorative for my client. Cannot. So then they cannot apply it. Then our craftsmen, don't have jobs. So if we were to make it in a more modern or different styles that they can more accept, widely accepted, or something that's trending now, then perhaps this can really help our regional craftsmen to have more jobs, and also for our designers to engage them because they're so near to us, right?
Wow, this has been a very interesting interview. We got quite an education. I think Mandy behind the camera is also like mouth quite open. Thank you so much, Celine.
Thank
you. And I personally learned a lot from this interview because the marketing tip itself is
you like this?
It's a nice refresher because everybody.
For you.
Oh, thanks. Customize for my name, huh?
Put your name.
Okay, great. Alright, then because if you go to, because at Renotalk we get a lot of collaterals, right? I don't deny that, and things like this really stands out. It's really different from the usual brochure, the usual Facebook ad, people screaming me, and here's a subtle, right? A subtle form of marketing, but it stands out when everybody is screaming out noise.
Yes.
So that's one thing that I learned today, and I'm happy to hear that you are doing quite a bit for regional designers, kind of bringing the world's attention and kind of looking at this part of the world and alternative uses of materials. And I thought that was very interesting.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. This has been a very interesting episode. I'm sure followers would agree. And of course, tune in for more episodes of 618. We'll have more experts just like her gracing our shows. So this has been Sabah from Renotalk, and she's
Celine from Fraction Design Studio.
Alright, have a great week, and
Thank you.
thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks.